And good evening, everyone, and good morning, those of you listening across the planet, all different places. You are listening to Radio Toni Everyday Business, and I'm your host, Toni Lontis. Now, just a reminder that if you'd like to listen to the replays of the show, you'll find the links on the website radiotoni.com. For those of you listening on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, we have the gorgeous Paolo from the Philippines listening in, ready to answer your questions and send you the links that you require. And today, I like to have a wide variety of guests on my show, and Everyday Business responds to all sorts of businesses all the time. And my guest today is the lovely Shelley Hofberg. But before I introduce you to her, let me tell you a little bit about Shelley. Psychic medium Shelley Hofberg has been a clairvoyant for 30 years. Her decades of experience and keen insight give her a high level of accuracy. Shelley is highly intuitive and reads the psychic energy around you to hone in on your relationship and career issues. As a tarot reader, Shelley will not ask details about your life, but primarily rely on her gift as a clairvoyant to receive the answers you need to know. As a medium, Shelley considers herself to be a spiritualist and an instrument for the spirit to speak through her. Shelley is also a gifted pet psychic and will tell you what your pets want you to know. I'm really excited to have Shelley on the show today. Good evening, Shelley.
Good evening. It's nice to be here.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come on Radio Toni. I think it's wonderful that we have the opportunity to talk to people from the spiritual realm, and you've been doing this a long time, so I appreciate your wisdom and knowledge around this area. Let's begin at the beginning. And I understand from talking to you, Shelley, that you discovered your gift really quite early in your life. Can you tell our listeners about that?
Yes. At age 7, I discovered my gift of mediumship and animal communication. My very first experience with animal communication is when our Siamese cat was not feeling well. And I put my hands on the cat and felt energy and sensed that there was something wrong in the stomach area, in the stomach. I felt energy. And my parents took the cat, to the vet, and the vet determined that the cat had an intestinal infection.
And how did your parents react to that revelation?
My parents never really suppressed my abilities.
Awesome.
They couldn't. They didn't understand how I could know that something was wrong with our cat's stomach. They couldn't understand, but they knew I must have had some kind of gift. I explained to them that I sensed it, that I felt it. So they knew I had some kind of gift to be able to pick up that information. Before the vet, they took the cat to the vet, to determine what was wrong. And then when my grandmother, what are you going to say, dear? Yes.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, Shelley.
And then when my grandmother passed away when I was young, I had a visitation from her, and that was my first medium experience. And she came and sat on the edge of the bed. She told me not to be afraid, that other people were going to be coming to visit me. And after my visitation, with my grandmother, I would see and sense other spirits around our family home.
Wow. And so your parents were supportive and understood that you had a very special gift. What about the wider community and other family members? Were they equally supportive and understanding of this very special gift?
They were okay with me being able to communicate with pets, and they would even bring their pets, to me to see if I could give them information about their pets. But they really had a hard time dealing with the mediumship,
Yeah.
because they were afraid that maybe something was going to happen to me.
Oh no. So they were scared on your behalf. Is that right?
Yes, they really had a difficult time with the mediumship. And if I picked up a family member that passed away, I would tell
Mm-hmm.
them, that this family member, my aunt's husband passed away, and my
Yeah.
uncle came through, and my uncle wanted my aunt to know that he still loved her and that she was okay, and um, even though she believed I was talking to her husband, it was very upsetting
Yeah.
for her. So my family had
Oh,
a hard time with the mediumship because, they thought that, they didn't want me, any harm to come to me, but they were very open to the animal
yeah.
communication and would always bring their pets for me to talk to.
Wow. So with this gift being apparent early in your life, did you think about doing anything else but working in the spirit realm as you grew up?
Um, I knew that I was destined um, to be, you know, um, work in the psychic field.
Yes.
I worked in other fields, and then when I became in my 30s, when my father got Alzheimer's and I had to quit work
Yeah.
to take care of my
Yeah.
father, it was in my 30s that's when I began to do the psychic as a profession. Before that, I was reading for family members or friends.
Yeah. Has that been a good thing for you when you started to do it as a profession? Did
It
it
really is
open
the
up
best
a
thing. It's
whole
really the best thing
Yeah.
that I ever did,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
have different gifts, and I really have been able, to help a lot of people, that come to me. Mostly people want to know about their relationship issues, their career, their
Yes.
finances, and I've been able to give psychic guidance to a lot of people to kind of help guide them in the right direction.
Yeah. And do people come to you from all over the world?
I mostly read people in the United States, but I have read for people in Europe.
Yes. And can you do that over Zoom? Does the energy still transfer over electronic means as easily as it does when you're face to face?
Um, I haven't found any difference, with Zoom and face to face. Because
That's
face to face, I'm
wonderful.
able to have a personal interaction with them,
Yeah.
and when they're communicating to me, I'm able to pick up information through clairempathic. I am a
Yes.
clairvoyant, but I mostly get my information through feelings.
Yeah. So when someone's sitting or standing in front of you, you feel certain things, even so like we're having a conversation now, do you have to be in a certain space to get that information, or does it just come to you with no warning?
Sometimes it comes to me for with no warning. I was in the
Yes.
supermarket once, and there was a woman in
Yes.
front of me, and I started to, I picked up a message from her brother that passed away, and so I
Mm.
asked her, "Do you have a brother, named John?" And she said, "Yes." So sometimes, it's usually people that come to me, that to have a session with me, they contact me. But sometimes there have
Yes.
been situations where I have been in a public place, and if I'm next to a person, and I pick up a message for them, then I will tell them.
And do most people, are they fairly accepting of that information that you're passing on?
Most people are very open to it. Yes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, I know that you have a wide variety of wonderful gifts. I wanted to quickly talk about tarot and what tarot is and how long people have been reading tarot cards across humanity because it's an ancient gift, isn't it, Shelley?
It's a tarot. Is a very probably one of the oldest divination tools.
Yes.
It's deeply rooted, like in medieval and Renaissance Europe, and it
Yes.
originated in northern Italy in the late 14th century. And it
Uh-huh.
was first used as a game in Italy and France, and then it became a divination tool in France and Italy. Um, and it's believed that the spiritual wisdom of the tarot came from the collective consciousness of people, from the ancient Kabbalah teachings, from the divination derived from numerology and astrology, from mystical schools like the Golden Dawn,
Yes.
religions and philosophies. Um, and the tarot is like composed of 78 cards, and
Yes.
there is divided into two decks. The major arcana and minor arcana.
Oh,
And
yes, yes.
yeah, and the minor arcana, it mostly has to do with the present. It has to do with your present issues, your present
Uh-huh.
situation. It
Yeah.
tells you about your relationships, your career, your money, your family. It also can
Yes.
reveal your spiritual and psychic gifts that you may have. So it's really good. It's a good tool for career guidance, for people that are
Yeah.
looking to make a change in their career. And it's also very helpful when people are dealing with relationship issues, that they're needing some
Yeah.
clarity and guidance on what they can do to make the relationship better.
Yeah. So numerology and astrology were like they predate tarot. So tarot came after those two, um, astrology and numerology. Is that my correct understanding?
I feel in the 14th century, the tarot originated, and also I feel probably before the tarot originated that astrology and numerology, I'm not sure of the year, but they're much
Yeah.
older divination systems. They came before the
Yeah.
tarot, but when the
Yeah.
tarot originated, um, numerology and astrology were incorporated into the tarot. And the
Oh,
numerology deals more with the minor arcana, and astrology is more connected to the major arcana, because each major arcana card, which is 22, has a planet
yes.
or astrological sign that is connected to it. So I feel numerology and astrology came first, and then when tarot was invented, it was incorporated into the tarot, and the tarot as a divination tool. And incorporate. When I do my tarot readings, I incorporate a lot of astrology.
Yes. Yes. So they're
Yeah,
kind of all of them are linked together, really, aren't they?
they're all linked together. Yes.
Yeah. And they all work interchangeably as well, don't they, in terms of helping people with whatever particular issue that they want guidance on at that moment in time?
Yeah, they really provide in a lot of detailed, in-depth information, because when a person comes to get a tarot reading, they usually mix the cards, and so their
Yes,
energy is in the cards. And when when the cards are laid out, it's a picture of their life.
yes, yes.
It shows everything
And
that's
it's
going on with their present situation. It's also a tool used to predict the future.
yeah, yeah. Shelley, do the gifts that you have, do they work for anyone? So, if I were to do you have to have a specific question in your mind when you go to a psychic medium that needs answering, or are generally you able to give uh, information as it comes to you that may not be for any particular question?
It's always good when you're going to get a psychic reading or tarot reading to focus on the area of your life that is the most important to you at this time, that you're needing
Yeah,
guidance and direction. Other information, so usually you just focus on one area. And then when the tarot reader lays out the cards, they will also give you information about what you didn't ask a question about, other areas of your life that you need
yeah,
some to know about. But it's always good to
yeah.
focus because you
Shelley,
want to get your energy into the cards.
yeah, yeah. Um, Another strange question. Can you read tarot cards from a distance? So can you do that work over Zoom or Skype?
Yes, yes.
So it works the same
It
way.
works the
It's
same
the
way.
transfer of
I
energy.
just, when I do it over Zoom or Skype, I would have to mix the cards. And
Yes.
as long as they're focusing on a question, I'm able to pick up their energy and um, give them just as detailed, just as an accurate reading as if they were in person.
Yeah.
Because a
Okay.
large percentage of
So
my business is done by phone or Zoom.
yeah, okay. Because I just in the interests of showing how powerful these gifts are, and I didn't ask you this before the interview, but have you got your tarot cards with you right now?
Yes, I could do a reading for you.
I was just going to say, is that okay, Shelley, to show the listeners that the transfer of energy, it is a transfer of energy.
It's a
It's not,
transfer of energy, yes.
yeah, yeah,
It's done from the tarot cards kind of deal with mental telepathy. And telepathy is when the psychic is able to receive your thoughts and emotions. When the thoughts and emotions of the client is transferred to the psychic, who can
yeah,
pick up those emotions and feelings through the cards.
yeah,
Focus
yeah.
on a question, that would be great.
Okay,
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
And what was your question?
My question is in relation to a surprising, shocking piece of information that I've just found out.
So it's regarding the information you found out.
Yeah,
It feels like this is something that you weren't aware of.
correct.
Yeah, I feel that it's something that you weren't aware of. It feels like it's involving another person. Was this a female that you found the
Yes,
information about? I'm picking up
yes,
this female as the Queen of Cups, so I feel that she may be a female that is a little bit younger in age than you.
yes,
And
yes,
then you're coming up as the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel that you're a little bit older in age and she's younger. And I feel
yes,
that you've had a personal relationship with this person a long time. And this person feels to me that it's someone that's related to you. That like a family member. It feels like a family member that she's related to you. And
Yeah.
I feel that for a long time, she has concealed this information, and she has thought over the at least for a year now, many times she has thought about revealing this information to you. But because this is a card of having to make a choice. The Four of
Hmm.
Cups is a card of choices. And so she's
Yes.
thought about it for at least a year now. And she just wasn't sure. She wanted you to know. I don't think she really ever intended to keep it from you. She wanted you to know, but she wasn't sure how you would feel about this information and how you would
Yeah.
perceive this information and how you would
Yeah.
take this information. So she had,
Yes.
that's what took her a while to tell you.
Yeah.
But but
Yeah.
now that the information is out, because this is kind of a card of a happy family, the Ten of Cups,
Oh,
a
that's
card of a happy
encouraging.
family, because I feel it's a family member, a happy family, and it feels like that it's something that you are going to be accepting of, and that's what she was concerned about, and it feels like it's going to bring you and her closer,
Yeah.
that you're going to
It's
have a
it's
closer relationship now.
it's the question is around what to do with that newly found information and how the ramifications of that information will affect the greater amount of people around us, I guess.
I feel at first there's a little bit of worry and concern,
Yeah.
regarding the information, because they want, I feel it's like a daughter or a daughter, I feel, and there's a little, as a daughter I'm picking up, and I feel a little concern about maybe how this is going to affect her life, because it's something that is going to have an effect on her life. She's going for a major transition because of it, and going in a different direction in her life than you or the other family members did not anticipate her going in that direction.
Yeah.
So at
Yeah.
first there's a little concern, but then I feel, because this is kind of a happy card, the sun,
Yes.
a very
Yes.
happy card, and
Yes.
the star is kind of a card of Aquarian, which is kind of maybe sometimes Aquarian could be unconventional ideas.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because I feel it might be something more unconventional instead of conventional, unconventional. And
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
something maybe a little unconventional, and they're not sure how this is going, to have an effect on her life, her
Yes.
relationship with her family, her relationship
Yes.
with other people. But then it feels like maybe within, I would say, a 2-month period, because I'm getting the
Okay.
number two, within
Yeah.
a 2-month period, I feel that the family is going to be accepting. They're going to be
Okay.
loving. They're going to be accepting. They're going to be supportive.
Okay.
Because even though it may be something unconventional to the family, I feel it's something your daughter will feel comfortable with. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change of
Yeah.
lifestyle. I feel it's a change of
Yeah.
lifestyle, but it's something that she's embracing and that she's going to feel comfortable with.
Very good, Shelley. Very good. It is powerful stuff, isn't it? So
Yes.
that's the card and the tarot astrology numerology connection. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you today about was the fact that you've always done pet communication. And I'd love for you to explain to our listeners how pet communication works. And I have to say, there's a beautiful black cat in the background that
Well, that's
keeps
my baby
popping
shadow.
in.
Yes.
Yes. There's a lovely white essence or energy around her when she pops up onto the screen.
Oh, yeah. She loves to pop up and say hello. She's very,
Uh-huh.
he's a boy,
Uh-huh.
but he's very friendly.
It's a
And
boy.
I
That's
have a very
awesome.
strong psychic connection to this cat. I got him when he's like 5 weeks
Yes,
old because he can communicate to me and let me know how he feels.
yes.
So I have a
And what
very
sort of
strong
things does
psychic
he tell
connection to
you?
him. What?
What sort of things does he tell you?
Um, um, he lets me know what you know, when he wants to play. He'll come
Yes.
up and look at me, and I'll know. And he's telling me, you know, stop. He gets upset because I'm at the computer a lot working, and he gets upset, and he'll come up on my desk and he'll hit me and say, "It's time to play."
What a cheeky boy. What a
Yeah,
cheeky
he lets
boy.
me know when he wants to play when I'm been at the
Yeah,
computer too long.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he lets me know
Um,
what kind of food he likes and when he wants to play. And he's told me what kind of toys he wants me to buy him. You know, he likes toys.
that's
Yeah, I got him a toy. He did a toy, a stuffed toy. And he said,
yeah.
"Why'd you buy me that for?"
But it's not just cats that you can communicate with. It's a lot of different animals, isn't it, Shelley?
Yes, I could communicate with all kinds of animals.
Are some animals more intelligent than others, or are they all intelligent in their own special ways?
I feel that they're all intelligent in their own special way.
Yeah, yeah. I love my animals, and I think I might have discussed with you the other day that we have 7 goats and 2 llamas, and I'm very close to my goats. We also have a couple of little dogs. My beautiful old Bella dog passed away a number of years. Do you get messages from animals that have passed on?
Yes,
Yeah,
I feel Bella is telling me that your dog that you have now is not alone, that she is taking care of the dog that is with you now,
yeah,
that
yeah,
she's not alone, that she spends a lot of time with her,
yeah.
that the dog that you have now um, is not afraid.
Okay.
Your dog has seen Bella because animals are probably more in tune to
Yes,
their psychic abilities than people. They're
yeah,
very psychic,
yeah.
and
I agree
they
with
can see
you.
things, they can feel things.
Yes,
And so Bella, I feel there is a certain comfort. I feel the dog was upset when she passed away, that they
yes,
were very close, and she was
yes,
very sad and depressed and was
yes,
sleeping a lot and not eating.
mm,
And maybe 2 or
yeah.
3 weeks after Bella passed away is when she came back.
Um, because we kind of often feel her energy around the house. And yeah, I just wondered. So, have you got any really lovely stories about animal communication? Because I know in talking to other animal communicators, they're often called upon to find out issues within that particular animal when the vets can't find anything wrong. Are there other lovely stories you can relate to the listeners today about some of your animal communication stories, Shelley?
Yeah, I had an animal communication woman session with a
Yeah.
woman that had a little chihuahua,
Yes.
and the woman didn't understand what was wrong with the chihuahua.
Yeah.
It was coming around her a lot, and it was crying and coming around her and crying, and it would go around in circles and it would come and bark like the chihuahua wanted
Yes.
her to follow her, you know, into another room.
Uh-huh.
And the woman had lost her husband,
Oh,
and the chihuahua was the only companion she had. And the chihuahua was really trying to communicate and get her attention because she wanted her to know that her husband was still in the house. So the Chihuahua, came to her when, she was sitting down and, started crying and looking at her and barking and, walking towards her bedroom. And when she went into her bedroom, she said she saw the silhouette of her husband.
Gosh.
So it was the Chihuahua that was letting her know that, that the husband was with her and wouldn't leave. She became, she wasn't aware of it before. She was kind of lonely and depressed and missed her husband and missed him. And she really wanted to see him again and didn't know if that was possible, because she never had a mediumship experience. And it was because of the Chihuahua that she was aware that her husband was in the house.
Yeah.
Because the Chihuahua guided her to him.
So the energy of her husband, does the energy often stay around the home, or do they stay for a while? Do they go? Do they come and go? Like, is there a general experience? Because I've often heard people talk about the energy being around and then not being able to feel the energy anymore. Is that common, Shelley?
I feel that people always feel, in my experience with doing medium readings, the family will always feel the energy of their loved ones, because I don't feel the spirit goes away. It travels back and forth. It comes to visit and to be with them.
Yes.
It also goes to the spiritual plane where there's other family members that it interacts with that passed away. So it interacts with the family members on the other side, but also will spend a lot of time with its loved ones that are still here.
Yeah.
I don't feel it goes away. No.
And is it the same with the spirit of animals that have passed? Do they sort of come and go? And
yes.
And do they exist on the same plane as humans that have passed? Or is it a different plane? Is it a different level?
I feel that they have a different area in the spirit world for animals, but the humans and who had pets, animals will also be on the same plane as they are, and be with their owners on the other side.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Shelley, I wanted to talk today about spirit connection and what that means. Can you tell our listeners about spirit connection?
All of us have relatives that have passed on. We also have master teachers. And master teachers help us, give us guidance, spiritual guidance, and they help us with the lessons that we need to learn. And the relatives, if there's help you to deal with the issues with the family that's here, that they can come to you in your dreams or meditation, and they will give you guidance to help you with it. If you're having an issue with a family member and you ask them for guidance, they will help you with that situation.
And does everyone have those guides around them, or are some humans more open to their guidance and information than others?
There are people that are more open. There's some people that are closed because if they have, some people are closed because they might be afraid, or they're just not, they just don't have the awareness to know that the relatives are still there. Because we have teacher guides, we have relatives. Everybody also has guardian angels.
Oh, that's
your guardian angel is Michael.
Mine is?
Michael's your guardian angel, yes.
Oh my goodness. So tell me about Michael.
Michael is a guide that offers you spiritual guidance. And he's also very protective. I feel when there's always been challenges, I feel there's been some challenges with your family throughout the year.
Yeah.
And I feel when there's been, situations where you've had challenges with your family, that Michael has always been there to help heal your emotions.
Yeah.
Michael's also a healer guide. So when you've had difficult situations with family where it's stressful emotionally, it seems like he's always come around you, and anytime he's around you, you felt better.
Yeah.
You felt that you had a sense of knowing, this is going to work out. This is going to be okay.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of things there for the listeners that makes this information particularly special is that Michael is actually the name of a little brother that we never got to meet because he passed actually before he was born.
So this might be the same Michael. Yeah, because the name Michael came through. I think you have two Michaels. You do have, the guardian angel Michael, but the child Michael that passed away, his spirit is still with you. His spirit is still around. Michael's around you. Because I picked up the name Michael really strong around you.
Yeah. For listeners, Shelley and I have never had a conversation about that little bit of information. That's the first time I've talked about that live on air, so that you can be assured that this is not something that this is actually a real conversation that Shelley and I have just had, and it's real energy that Shelley has picked up on. I'm in Australia, Shelley's in California, and this energy work does transfer across the airwaves. I actually think, Shelley, that for many people, there will be a whole level of discovering and understanding about energy, and that it does, it is transferable between people and continents and space. It has unlimited ability to do that, doesn't it?
Yes. It is also, energy is also transferable through in the animal kingdom. Not only people, there's an energy exchange between people, even at a distance, but there's an energy change with our pets.
Oh, okay.
That they can communicate with each other, because Bella, the dog that has passed on, there's an energy change going on with the pet that you have. Bella is communicating to that pet.
Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense, because it sometimes it looks like she's looking at something else that is not there. So it absolutely can see and feel that that's what happens with her. She's also an old dog now, like a very old dog, and she's got a few issues happening for her at the moment. I'm not sure that she will be with us for very much longer. In terms of Bella, she was the dog that comforted me in a very dark time in my life, and she died of liver cancer, and it was almost like she took on all my sadness, all my grief, and held it within her body so that I could heal and grow, and get through that time of grief. So losing her was just devastating for myself and my husband, and it still years later is quite a loss that I feel more than a human loss. Do you find that we as humans, when we find an animal that we're completely connected to, that the loss is very overwhelming?
Yeah, it is, because you have a relationship with that pet of love. There's a bond of love between us and our pets. And when they pass, it's just like losing it's the same as losing a child.
Yes.
People will go through
Hmm.
a grieving process the same as they lost their child, because the pet, they're our
Yeah,
children, and there is a grieving process, but there is a comfort
absolutely.
and knowing that they're still with us.
Yeah. Yes, there is definitely. And I can definitely there was a special thing that she used to do first thing of a morning. She had these big fluffy paws, and she would put them up on my shoulders around my neck like a physical hug. And she did that every morning. And there's often mornings when I wake and unconsciously reach for her, and she's not there, obviously, but that feeling of her warm paws around my neck still happens from time to time, which is really very special. Shelley, what do you think are some of the key benefits of working with a psychic?
Um, some of the benefits of working as psychic, um, I feel it really helped people who are in a space in their life where they're confused about what their purpose is, what direction they need to go with their career, and
Yes,
are wanting to make a career change, but maybe needing some guidance as to what would be the best career choices for them. So a lot of
yeah,
people come to psychics when they are going through a career transition, or they're wanting to go back to school and wanting to know what the right courses they should be, what profession they should be studying.
yes,
You know, it helps with relationships. If people are having um, problems with their relationship, going to a psychic could be very healing for that relationship,
yes,
because the psychic could give you information to help that
insights.
relationship to heal.
Yeah, yeah. Years ago, when my friends and I were teenagers, one of the things that the girls and I used to always be curious about was, um, am I going to win a gold lotto? So gold lotto is like a lottery system we have in Australia. Do many people ask that question anymore? Are many people interested if their finances are going to change, if they're going to win lotto, if they're going to any of that money related stuff? Do many people ask that anymore?
Not too many people ask about lotto. When it comes to their money, they're more interested in what are the talents and skills that they have,
Yes.
are the talents and skills that they need to develop, which will bring them more financial success.
Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of evolved into asking better questions around spirituality and from our spiritual guides, do you think?
Yes.
Do you find that there's been a difference between when you first discovered your particular gifts and the way that you are treated now? From my perspective, I would like to think that there's much more general society acceptance of these skills and gifts. Do you think that's so?
I feel that more people are having it's a time in our history that more people are awakening spiritually. So more people are very
Agreed.
open to spiritual guidance and psychic guidance, and they're wanting to just develop their another thing that people will ask is, what are my spiritual
Yes.
gifts? What are my psychic gifts, and how can you help me develop them? More people are
Yeah.
very open to getting guidance for all areas of their
What
life.
What are some of the spiritual gifts that people have?
I feel that there are people that have healing abilities.
Yes.
You know that they have and I've read a lot of people lately that I picked up have healing abilities,
Yes.
and pointed that out, that they need to do something in the medical field or something with holistic healing because they're healers.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's
Because it doesn't,
other,
because
what, Jen?
it works both ways, doesn't it? If you have a gift of healing, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go into something non-traditional like Reiki, for instance. It can actually mean that you might be better as a doctor or a nurse
Yes,
or
it could be that
a
you should
paramedic.
go into the have a career in something with the medical field, if not, if
Yes,
so some people may use their healing gifts in a non-traditional way, which would be, energy healing or working
yes,
with crystals, healing with crystals or
yes.
healing with herbs. And then some people, will go in the direction of using their healing gifts as a medical professional. And
And
then
it works either way, doesn't it?
I feel that everybody has psychic gifts,
Ah,
and the psychic gifts that they have can be developed. I'm also a teacher. I teach mediumship, psychic development, tarot, and often when I read people, I will reveal to them what are their psychic gifts that they have.
yes, yes. Does spirit and energy communication ever get it wrong? Or is it that the human getting the information interprets it wrong? What are your thoughts about that?
I feel that a psychic, cannot be 100% accurate.
Yeah,
You have to have a connection with that person to read their
yes,
energy and to provide them with accurate information. Um,
yeah.
if the information sometimes isn't accurate, I find it's because there are people that are very open, but there's some people that still have fears because
Ah,
they may
okay.
have misconceptions about what a psychic is, what they do, or they may have some fear because they don't understand how they can know certain things about them when they haven't met them.
Yes,
And if they're
yes,
closed, if they have any fear-based emotion, if they're closed because they're not understanding how the psychic can know personal information about them when they never met them, those people you
yeah.
really can't read. You have to be open to the information. I was able to
Yes.
read you because you're very open.
Oh, thank you. But
Yes,
obviously, you've had people that are completely not open, and so you're blocked from reading their energy,
because
essentially.
their energy
Is
is
that a
blocked.
correct understanding?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with them. If I can't pick up information because they're blocked, you know, um, I'll just give them some meditations they could do,
Yes.
some crystals to work with to help them to be more, to be more open. Um, but I will not try to read them if they're blocked, because there are people sometimes that come to you and they're testing the psychic. They said, "What can you tell me about me?"
Ah.
And they're testing you, but they're blocked.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It
And
doesn't
so
happen
the
very open.
crystal,
Most people that get psychic readings, they're very open and receptive to getting information.
yeah, absolutely, because that's the reason that you're going is to get
Yes,
information. Um, I'm guessing that there are people out there that still want to test your ability as well, and that's not great. Um, I'm glad to know that we as humanity have progressed in terms of understanding and being open to energy and spiritual guidance. I think that that is an amazing thing for humanity across everywhere to be more open to that understanding energy, because energy in itself is a powerful determinant of how your life works out. So if I know from in that time when I was just really deeply in a dark place, the energy was negative, dark, and it wasn't until I started to heal that and moved to a more positive energy that life starts to open up. So that whole idea of closed dark energy versus open light energy is a good way for us to see where psychics and their abilities fit into the world. So Shelley, we've got a special offer for our listeners on Radio Tony today. Would you like to tell our listeners what that is?
Yes. My special is $30 for 30 minutes. Normally $30 is 15 minutes, but with my special, it's $30. I normally charge 50 for 30 minutes, but with my special, I'm offering an hour for $50.
Yeah,
They could go
that's
to
a
my
really
website.
good
They could go
price.
to my website, Psychic Shelley, which is SHELLEY, Hofberg, which is H like in Harry, O like in Oscar, F like in Frank, B as in boy, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, G as in George, psychicshelleyhofberg.com.
And if anyone's listening on the live feed, Paleo will put those up into the chat box. If you've missed that or any of those links, go to radiotony.com, look under our guests for today, and you will find the link to Shelley's website and the special that's up there. It's all on that website as well. Shelley, just before we run out of time today, we've got about 4 minutes left. Tell me what's been the best thing about discovering these gifts. What, from your perspective, after all your years of work, what's the thing that makes you most happy about having these gifts?
What really makes me happy is that, I want to be able to be of service to people. I want to help people to have better relationships, make the right choices with their education, be in the right careers. That what makes me happy when I'm able to give guidance to people that help them to go in the right direction with their life and
Yeah,
improve the qualities of their life, improve their relationships and careers and their family, and have a better relationship with your family. Being able to help them, being able to give them information that's going to really help them to make changes.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
most
And
satisfying
make,
thing for me.
yeah, yeah. Do you see yourself continuing to do this forever and a day?
Probably, yes. I don't think I'm ever going to retire.
That's lovely. That's
Yes.
awesome. Shelley, we're just about out of time. I want to take the opportunity to thank you for being so open to coming on my show, for talking so honestly about these particular special gifts, and for letting our listeners know that this is a very normal part of life, and that lots of us have intuitive and psychic abilities. We just need some guidance on how to tap into those particular gifts and energies. Of all of your gifts, Shelley, which one do you think is your favorite? Or do you have a favorite?
I feel my favorite, I feel, is both animal communication, but I also really like being a medium. I like being
Yes.
able to connect people to their loved ones. I really like doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Is most of your work one-on-one, or do you do group work? Have you been called on to do group work, Shelley?
I have done, spirit channeling circles and pet circles,
Yes.
where I do group readings, and I have an event every month where I do a group reading on Zoom.
Oh, wow. Awesome. So you've got that information on your website too. If people are interested in a group session versus a one-on-one, that's available on your website as well.
They can find out about my events and my group events if they go to my meetup group, the Psychic Development Circle with Shelley.
Okay, so listeners, that's the Psychic Development
The
Circle
Psychic
with
Development
Shelley
Circle with Shelley. I meet up,
on Meetup.
have all my events.
Yeah. We've also got links for Shelley on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Again, those links will be in the live chat for those listeners who are on the live stream. And for those who are listening whilst driving a car, just jump onto radiotoni.com and look under our guest today, and you'll find the links for Shelley and all the information about how to connect with this wonderful person who is Shelley. Shelley, we are just about out of time, but thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank your lovely cat for
Oh,
putting in
Shadow,
an
yes.
appearance in the background, because
Yes.
that was pretty. He's jumping up on the bed and jumping down, and I'm like, oh, he just wants us to acknowledge that he's in the background there. So there you go, Pussycat. We've done that. Shelley, I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you once again for coming on Radio Toni and telling our listeners about your wonderful gifts and how they themselves can access those gifts. Don't forget, listeners, it's psychicshelleyhofberg.com. If you haven't got time to copy that down, just jump onto radiotoni.com, look under guests, and you will see all of Shelley's information and the link to her special, which is $30 for 30 minutes and a $50 minute special, which is a fantastic special, especially for the listeners of Radio Toni. Shelley, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, next week, listeners, we'll be back with another episode of Radio Toni Every Day Business. And that's your lot for this week, unfortunately. It's over and out for me, and bye to Shelley. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
for
you for
now.
having me. I enjoyed being on your show.
We loved having you.
Thank you, dear.